I have a quick story I'd like to tell you.
Oh, that's tremendous.
Made me laugh.
You know, one of my favorite things of the week is
When I tell you a
one, seeing you.
story. Oh,
I was at the party and somebody said, "Hey, do you want to come to the after thing?" I was like, "No, I gotta go. I gotta go see a friend."
thanks, pal.
And he said, "Never speak to me again." But no,
You lost one friend, but
I have no friends now at work. But
it's
the
not.
second thing is hearing your stories. I always enjoy hearing your stories. I guess those are
Okay.
related. If it's
Okay.
not saying it's like one B.
You would think that B would just be the reason for.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
but you're the weeks where you bring nothing. I still like seeing you when you just
okay.
show up and you got no
Do I
shit.
ever do that?
You got no stories. You're like, I
I
didn't
might
prepare.
say that I didn't. I might say that I didn't prepare anything, but I've always got tons of stuff. to
Oh, I
prepare.
see.
I like to underplay my.
Hey, I'm cool. I didn't prepare. What am I supposed to prepare for this thing?
Art
You're
of
wearing like a
war.
leather jacket. You're like, what do I prepare? What am I,
I get
like a
pizza
guy?
sent to the class.
I'm like a prepare guy. Come on.
Not me.
What are you, a nerd?
Let me go get on my skateboard and go down the hall, see my buddies in the bathroom and smoke some cigarettes.
Remember when skateboards were edgy?
I
rode a
remember
skateboard,
seventh
was
grade, like the skateboards, they had that hair that like came across your face.
Yeah.
Now that middle-aged women have that haircut, I don't understand why that happened.
That is tremendous that the skateboard cut transitioned to middle-aged women. Do you think that's
So-
a thing? Like whatever haircuts
Well-
skateboarders have now, will middle-aged women will have in like 20
Well, now
years?
I saw a kid just the other day that had Edith Bunker's haircut. I think the trends go back and forth.
Wow, it loops on itself.
Yep.
Yeah, it was like edge. Like you didn't really know where they were coming from. You're like, wow, that guy's mysterious.
They all had cool nicknames. Well, I knew a kid his name is Nate, but he only went by Nay. Doesn't save you any syllables. Perfect story. All right, so tonight I
Oh,
went
your
out.
story, yes.
I went out
Paddle. I'm
paddleboarding.
sure you went paddleboarding.
I did. With all
That
my
is like
friends.
I've been listening to the last weeks. Every
That's all I
week
do.
is like,
But this isn't
what did you have? I went paddleboarding.
But this isn't
And
really
I my pants
paddleboarding.
again.
Yeah, I'm really cool. I tell a story about paddleboarding that involves me my pants. I bring stuff to this show. So I went out tonight, and I saw. So right when I got in the water, there was a guy standing there, looking at something, and I went over to him. And there were 3 manatees right around him.
Oh, cool.
So we talked for a minute, paddled away. I paddle north, and I run into. There's maybe 200 feet away. There's a group of 4 people, 3 men that I would say were maybe 5 years older than us, like I'd say early 50s. One of them's holding like an adult-looking special needs kid. The kid was like baby Bjorning him. He was kind of like,
wow.
you know, but
That's
he was like
great.
probably a 20-year-old kid. So what it looked like to me was 3 buddies, and one brought his kid. They're just having a couple of beers in like waist-high water, taking in it was starting
Maybe
to rain.
taking
It
a
was
shit
night.
if they had to go.
If you got to go, it's right there. You don't even have to move.
Yeah, you're already in.
So I'm like, I had just seen 3 manatees. I see a kid with special needs. He's with his dad. I'm like, oh, I'll tell them. They'll be excited. I'll be the hero. So I get up there. It takes me. They're watching. You know, it takes like you just said. It would be funny to see a cop chase me because
Yes.
it takes 10 minutes
Very
to get
slow, yeah.
to get 200 feet. So I get up there and I'm like, hey, if you guys want, if you walk back like maybe 200 feet over there, there's 3 manatee you could check out. And the guy goes, so if I stay here, how many? Something like he says. Wait, how did he say it? It made me laugh. God damn it. He said, so if I stay here, how many do you think I'll see? Oh, that story sucked. I can't remember. Right when I was trying to think of the punchline, it fell apart. Basically, saying, insinuating he wasn't going to leave the spot he was in to go see 3 manatee. He just wanted to stay where he was and drink his beer, and all of his friends laughed. And it was funny enough that I actually fell off my board when he said it, and then I couldn't even remember the goddamn punchline.
You just laughed so hard.
Yeah, he just had this New York accent. So how many do you think I'll see if I stay here? And I just doubled over. I mean, and it was the guy that was holding the crippled kid.
Like you serious? Like you're not just joking right now.
No.
You seriously fell off.
Yeah, I fell backwards. I laughed so hard that I fell backwards off my board.
Wow. That's a great reaction you had. Because he was kind of being a dick to you, and that was just a great reaction.
Oh, it's so funny. Yeah, it was. He was totally being a dick, and it was hilarious. And I fell in the water and made it probably funnier for them.
And then were you like drowning a little bit, and they were still
And a
laughing at
shark
you?
bit my foot. I had to go to the hospital. I'm surprised I even made
They're
it
just
in
laughing
time.
at you still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In blood-soaked waters.
Go back to your manatee friends. Well, that's fun.
Yeah. So that's how my evening started.
Friday night in the mag room.
All around the world you can hear them. Hey, hey, hey. Talking about news and kind of funny stuff. Hey, hey, hey. Mag room. Mag room. The mag room. The mag room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm almost done with school.
Yeah, I thought you were. I actually.
Well, the kids left.
I've been cyber stalking you. I tried to look up like when you would be out of class when.
Yeah.
So you had graduation before the last show, right?
Yeah, and then kids left
Okay.
Wednesday, and then I've been doing grades and stuff. So I still have stuff to do Monday, but that's it, and I'm done. Then I start preparing for the visit of Mark Einloff.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say your move.
The move is first, but I was ranking them in order of importance.
When are you moving?
July 14th.
Okay. And I'll be there a week later.
Is that when you were coming? 21st?
Right.
You can hang some pictures with us.
I'll do some housework.
And you and Aaron are coming to play golf?
I think so. That's the plan.
You gonna stay at my house at all? I mean, Aaron can, if he comes play golf, he could just stay too. We could have that night, have a little party, play some
Slumber
golf.
party?
Play and hang out in the
Make prank
backyard.
calls? Did you used to make prank calls at slumber party? Or see, I guess girls had slumber party. Oh, we had sleepovers. We just called it a sleepover. Prank calls were a big part of sleepover culture in Connecticut in the 80s.
Yeah, you can't do those anymore.
Joe Anderson, remember your question about what do we like from the 80s? Sleepover parties where we prank called people and recorded.
And that's an 80s thing because you cannot do prank calls anymore.
Mm-hmm.
One, nobody answers their phone.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And two, there's all these ways to trace whoever calls you. But the prank calls, Ken Sansone, they had a prank call. They made tapes. But you want to know how different the world is now? So he did them at Duke. They made some tapes. Their senior year, they asked Duke if they could have, because there was like you remember work study? Like you'd go to college, but they'd pay you some money to do a job.
Mm-hmm.
So Duke paid a kid to be their assistant
Like the research
for the
guy?
prank calls.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Right now, the college would like probably expel you.
Could they get us one of those?
That would be awesome. We should look into that. Is there a local college where you are?
To do an internship with us?
Yeah.
That would be nice.
But you like doing the producing, so I don't know. What would they do? Our social media?
He'll do this part of it.
He'll be that person with me?
He'll be me. Yeah, Mark.
Will he pretend to be you?
Yeah, I'll tell him all my stories so he knows.
Hey,
how to-
Jarrod, I was paddleboarding this Friday.
It's
And
not my voice.
I just went and, kind of paddleboarded around this corner and it was crazy.
Yeah?
Then there
It
was
sounds like a good story. Something
was
that I'd
like
be
some-
engaged in if I were listening
the
to it.
waters got a little rough, but I handled it. Then I saw this guy.
Oh, because you've got really good balance because you've been doing it for a while.
Yeah. Then he was peeing in the water and it was awesome.
Well, at least he wasn't pooping.
No.
like you did.
Yeah, it was great. Then I pet a manatee. It was awesome. All right, so we got Emma's here for Fabulous Flying Facts with Emma. These have been amazing. I've really enjoyed your stories. We've gotten a few emails about how wonderful you had a guess for the bird sound from last week, didn't you?
Oh, I thought it was a cardinal.
Wrong.
Oh,
What
Mark.
was it?
It was a sparrow.
That's not kind of. It's not
Vault-
kind of sparrow.
Vaulted sparrow.
What was it?
Here,
though?
talk over here. Talk.
What was it though? Actually,
It was a cardinal. You got it, nerd.
Ding, ding, ding. So do you have? I have a bird story actually as well. But do you have a bird minute? Please don't touch the cord.
sure. I have one. I'm gonna do hummingbird.
Hummingbird,
Ruby-throated hummingbird.
fun. Is that the one from Connecticut?
Yeah. There's only one. There's
Would
only
you believe that? Would you believe me if I told you that I have 2 hummingbird feeders about 80 feet away from me right now?
one.
What hummingbirds come there?
Would you believe that?
Someone gave me a Well, she gave me one, and then for some reason she gave me 2
Where are they?
in my store. I just haven't brought them home yet.
should send
Yeah,
it.
the
back my
hummingbirds
store.
aren't going to come in your store.
You also make your own nectar for it too.
Like sugar water. Don't you just
Yeah.
use sugar water?
And then you can also, so interesting facts about them.
What hummingbirds are in Florida, Emma?
I don't know.
Interesting.
I can go find out if you want.
You should just tell your story. I thought maybe you'd know, though.
A hummingbird is the smallest bird in the world. It's a bee hummingbird. It's very small. It's so small for
Is
the.
Mark going to play this sound while you're doing this?
So this is what you do. You just get a book about hummingbirds and then tell
Yeah, I
them
could
your
do
three
this. I
lines
could
from the book.
read a book and be
What?
like,
You asked
excuse me, I'm the PhD in hummingbirds.
Oh, I work at the Audubon Society.
Excuse me, you know something about hummingbirds? I got my book.
Yeah, I know everything about them.
Here's
Hold on
some
one
books about
second.
hummingbirds.
I just have to go to the bathroom for a minute. I'll be right back. Are you still looking up hummingbirds? Do you want me to look them up? I could just type it in the thing.
It's under age. It's under age.
This is-
No, it's gonna stop.
Not touch my computer.
No, I found the page.
Bag of
Let me
I
do
think
it.
this is-
Daddy, let me do it. Don't Google it.
Please don't go on the cord.
No, okay, let me do it though. I have it now.
Okay, go ahead.
The name of your segment should be "Don't Go on the Cord."
Dad, I asked you so I can do it.
Holy smokes, there's like 9 of them in Florida. Tell us all about it.
You just
There's
did it.
more, 9 more, Dad. It's
Like I know as much as your dog. Let me just. All I need is a little book about
18
them.
hummingbirds in Florida. Tell us what they are, Emma.
Another fact about them is that they move their wings in a figure 8 motion.
Oh, that's cool.
They like brighter colors. They like red and purple flowers. And they're very territorial. They'll fight over at bird feeders.
Do you know anything about their wings? The way the force of their wings, the up and the down force of their wings.
They do it in a figure 8 motion, like I said. So it's easier to move them because they have to.
What does that allow them to do? What does that
Well, just
motion?
think about it. If you move your arms like up and down, it takes a lot more energy than if you're just moving them in like a.
one of the hummingbirds is
I always dance with a figure.
What gets accomplished by that motion? I'm asking you a question that I'm wondering if you know the answer to, because I know something about hummingbirds that maybe you don't know. They're the only birds that their upstroke and their downstroke both propel them.
I see.
Hummingbirds, most birds when they flap down is when they get their propulsion, but hummingbirds on their up and their downstroke can move themselves.
Interesting.
Do you want to tell?
That's why they can stay in place.
Do you want to tell Mark how many hummingbirds are in Connecticut?
1.
1.
What's his name?
There's only one, and it's known as the ruby-throated hummingbird.
That's the one Connecticut has.
Ruby-throated sparrow, sing my song.
Yeah, you should definitely
Don't
put up that
belong.
thing.
Thrill me to the... What?
Your hummingbird feeder. You get a lot of different ones.
I want to get an owl, whatever you call it, house.
Is there a lot of owls in Florida?
When I bought my house, the first day I bought my house, oh man, should I tell? Oh, I can't tell the story with your kids there.
Probably.
All right. So long story short, I went to my house and I wish I could tell the story.
Just tell it, Mark. I
No,
want to
I'm
hear
not.
it.
I'm not telling it to you.
But I don't care.
I know you don't care, but I do. And Jarrod might.
Dad,
So
do you care if Mark tells me the story?
Yes. If he's filtering it, then yes.
An owl was living on my. It was not living, but it was perched on the. I have an exterior light on the outside of my front door, and he was perched on top of it. And I walked out of my house. And my dad was standing in the driveway, and I looked at him and I go,
Walk the owl out of your house?
I stepped out my front door onto my
Okay.
step. I was facing my father, who was 20 feet away from me, staring at me. And as I was staring at him, I could feel something looking at me right here. And I said, "Is there an owl right next to me?" And my dad goes, "Yeah." And I looked, and he took off, and I've never seen him again in my yard since. But I hear owls in my neighborhood all the time.
How
I think
how could that
they're
even
barred
be?
owls, or they could be screech owls too. I don't really know by sound.
So you scared him away and he never returned.
Never came back. I bought his house, and yeah.
All right, I got a story for you, Emma. If you don't have anything else.
So
That was your hummingbird presentation? Jared
Yeah,
did
that's
most of
it.
the talking.
She got mad when I brought up the Florida thing, and that was it.
What happened? She's not on camera, so I don't know.
She got angry that I brought up that there were Florida ones.
because that stole the thunder of your one.
Stole the
Ooh.
thunder.
It's not.
You have one hummingbird in Connecticut.
You're just not.
This is a murder case. Do you want to solve a murder case?
Albert or Sparrow?
A nest was assaulted. Was it the cowbird or the sparrow?
It was just a
All right, here's the story. This was from the New York
I knew what
Times.
a cowbird was.
I open the pantry door and the eastern phoebe flies off the nest. Her cup-shaped home is made of mud, covered in moss, and cantilevered over a glass light fixture, an avian falling water. Her nest placement makes sense. Before eastern phoebes lived so close to humans, they built their nests on cliffs. Every year for 35 years, we've had an eastern phoebe nest under the eaves of our back porch. Without her, it would not be spring. Now you play the bird sound right there. Eastern phoebes have the distinction of being the first bird ever banded. Remember last time we brought up some banding? I thought that was cool.
John James Audubon did it.
In 1804 by John James Audubon himself.
I have a picture.
J.J. Audubon himself?
He saw them in a cave, and then he decided to tie a little string around the butt of the younger.
He wrestled them to the ground and tied
Sounds
a band.
sadistic.
He waited till the parents left, and then he tied it around the younger ones.
Together and push
Because
them
there were all
upstairs.
these weird theories about what the birds did when they left. Like a lot of people thought that they went under the ocean, or they just
What?
flew to them. People thought that they went and
How is
got.
that
The ocean?
conspiracy theory not
Some
survived?
people say that they went under the ocean and got in big clumps, and that fishers would catch
You mean, like
giant
crazy
clumps
street
of
people said
birds. And then people also say, no, these were like
that? Those birds go under the ocean. What?
No, these are genuine scientific theories at the time.
Sure they were.
Come on.
No, actually, and people thought that they flew to the moon and back.
What?
Yeah, genuinely, they thought they like migrated to the moon and then.
That should be still on the internet somewhere.
What century was this?
I
1804.
Nobody. I defy you to find me somebody in 1804 that thought that the birds went under the ocean. There's no way.
Arr, matey, I see the birds under the ocean. Oh, she's running. She's running away.
Wait, the moon one is even worse.
Yeah, they flew to the moon?
I
You
don't
think
know.
the ocean
I
is...
think moon is more
You think
believable. Genuine scientific
Oh,
theory.
Emma
huh?
brought another book.
she brought an audiobook?
If you ask any bird question, she'll come out with a different book.
I was just kidding. I believe everything you said.
Okay,
So here, let me just read what John Audubon did first.
can I first say?
Yeah, you
One
tied
autumn
strings
day,
to
he
birds.
tied silver threads onto the legs of 5 nestlings before they migrated south. And later that day, he saw them fly under the ocean, never to be seen.
So the question was, where do small birds go in winter? So the Greek philosopher
Aristotle.
had he decided that big birds migrated,
Probably go
but
to-
small birds either hibernated underwater or in hollow logs all winter. And a fisherman said, there was tangled birds in my net just last week. And then people thought that they transformed themselves from one bird to another, or they went
So you're considering a fisherman from ancient Greece a scientific theory?
artists.
Hey, Billy Aristotle, I caught some birds in my net last week.
Plato, you won't believe what I found in the.
Aristotle said it. He's a philosopher.
Mm.
And then scientists of the day still agreed with Aristotle. Ha ha ha.
Aristotle?
Whatever.
Oh, artist. I thought you said Aristotle. If it was Aristotle, that guy, he was he was the town drunk. He was the Athens village fool.
Okay, you know what? They said that they got it
I
in
forgot
ball,
about that.
clinging beak to beak, wing to wing, and foot to foot, and they would lay underwater all winter.
This is why nobody believes science.
And then people
Old
said,
Aristotle. Aristotle's been hitting
Then
whiskey
John-
again. He's making up stories about fish flying through the air.
and they thought that people,
I'll tell you what, the fish are either in the bush or they're underwater.
God damn it, Aristotle. We're going to have to throw you in the drunk
said that
tank
they
again.
traveled to the moon.
You and your scientific theories. You're a scientist.
You were claiming that I was stupid for saying it was scientists, and so I was proving to you
I don't
that
think
no,
Mark's episode
scientists.
stupid.
I don't think I said stupid.
But you were making fun of me
Crazy.
for saying fine. You were making fun of me for saying
Insane.
scientists.
That's funny.
But genuinely, I proved to you that scientists, philosophers, people who
You said Aristotle. He wasn't a
big-
scientist.
Johnny Aristotle.
who were big names at the time.
Wow, you're like,
Please.
I will scream over
Name
you
dropper.
if I have to.
that's not how this
Oh,
show
I know
Well,
Aristotle.
yeah, that's how it works for you.
This is not a
Hey.
spoon show.
You literally scream over me all the time.
All right, can we talk more about our murder story?
How am I supposed to do a bird minute? If
you don't.
You already finished.
I don't even get a minute to talk.
You had it, but it was over.
Not really. No, you.
But
It
this
interrupt me
year-
constantly.
Kind
I'm
of wasted
worried.
it defending some Greek drunk.
One day last spring when I went to check
drunken
on
ramblings.
I found 3 raw and naked eastern phoebe nestlings tossed onto the porch floor.
Makes sense.
First, I suspected brown-headed cowbirds,
No, see, because here's
famous as they are for raiding nests.
no. They wouldn't have done that because brown-headed cowbirds will lay their eggs in other birds' nests and just let them take care of it.
That's exactly what the next sentence said. Nice job, him.
Was it that long?
No, it was shorter, but
Okay.
the guy, Robert Mulvihill, said he didn't blame the house sparrows.
Oh my god.
He said the wild bird should not be labeled the bad guy just for doing what it naturally does to survive. He said eastern phoebes need to regroup and find safer nesting sites. So he blamed the phoebe.
Don't blame her.
But they shouldn't. Yeah, but they shouldn't blame them.
He said, let's be honest.
They're not supposed to be
If
here.
bluebirds and eastern phoebes have an enemy, it is we humans, not the house sparrows that we borrowed here.
Okay, that's probably true. Brennan, how can
So
you?
then he recommended that we kill all the humans.
Okay.
This was a story from the New York Times. So have you ever had arguments with your neighbors about things?
Not really. I get along with most of my neighbors. I'm trying to think.
Like something
No.
that you like left in your yard, or they didn't mow their lawn, or
No.
all right, what if your neighbor, this was in Georgetown, and one of the guys put up 2 humongous statues of Bumblebee and Optimus Prime from Transformers in his front stoop.
I'd be totally fine with that. That's cool.
They were $25,000 each,
And they bring up the property value right there. You got it.
and he took out his planters. You know how usually those Georgetown apartments, they have the like planters in the front. He took them out and put in the 2 large Transformers. So you'd be cool with that?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, his neighbors were not excited about it.
What did they do?
They sued him. You know, you bring it to like the local neighborhood board. And then at first the neighborhood board said he had 6 months to do it. This guy is loaded. He paid $4 million for this townhouse. Then he bought the one next door for $4.5 million. He would park his cars out front. One was a McLaren 720S. One was a Porsche.
Usually guys that own McLarens are such cool people.
2 Porsches. An MRAP truck. I don't know what that is.
Manufacturer's rebate after purchase.
So it's just like a dinky old
A
pickup
truck
truck.
that he got as a set.
And a small airplane. So he parked an airplane in front of his house.
Yeah, he sounds like a cool guy.
So the people didn't like this. They brought him to court. So he argued that the statues constitute meaningful public art. Transformers movies follow a classic good versus evil struggle in which the Autobots, the good guys,
Battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons.
the bad guys.
Transformers. More than meets the eye. Does he play that song out of his front porch all the time? Blasting it through the speaker?
So this guy lost the case. Dr. Howard, so the Dr. Howard guy didn't get a permit. It said it wasn't a question of art, it's a question of following the rules. Well, he argued that people fill their sidewalk planters with stuff and don't get dinged for it. But he was getting dinged because he filled his planters with Transformer statues. That was his argument.
Valid argument.
So he would have put, but he said, this is what he said. I'm sad, he said in a text to a reporter. What do you think I should do?
He asked the reporter what the reporter
Yeah.
the guy should do?
Yep. And he wrote, I know what these Transformers mean to me. What does it mean to them?
What if he's just being an or if he really does have some
he's just
real
sad about his
sentimental attachment to Transformers statues? To be honest, I don't know. I don't feel like I have the right to. It would make me. I don't know. It would annoy me after a while, I guess, probably. But I don't think I'd be the type of person that tried to get you to take it down.
Well, it's tough. I think it's tough. You like, so put yourself in that. You bought an apartment for like $4 million. And then the guy next door to you puts 2 huge Transformer statues on his front steps.
It's life. We were just talking about this. It's life. There's sometimes just You don't get to choose everything. You don't get to have a happy life. You're not entitled to just always being happy in life. That doesn't come with it. So sometimes you have to put up with bullshit. And if that happens to be a bad neighbor who puts up a Transformer statue, then you might have to sell it if it's going to bother you so much that but let things roll off your back. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good way to, it's a good mantra.
Probably part of the reason he did it was because he knows that and he wanted to bother his neighbors because he has a bunch of money. Money, you know, it's like, I don't know. I kind of
$25,000 Transformer statues.
I'm kind of on his side, I think. So I bought the place. It's my property. I want to do with it what it's, you know, I own it. But if you bought it in an HOA place or something like that, then I would just think that they'd.
Well, that's what happened. They told him to stop and he didn't do it.
Yeah.
So what do you do then? You steal the Transformer statues?
I don't know.
Because what if you're in an HOA and they tell you to do it, but you don't do it? Like, what do they do then?
It eventually ends up in court, put liens on your property.
But what if you have like $20 million? Like, what the hell are they going to do? What does it mean to put a lien on your property?
Well, they just put on record, on the county records, your property, the fact that Jarrod Sisk owns 1 Maple Avenue in Norwalk, Connecticut, is on a public record that's kept in the system.
Okay, great.
Property appraisers.
I own some property.
So
I put up some Transformer statues.
But you put all these Transformer statues up, and now your HOA is pissed at you. So they keep filing liens, injunctions, whatever it's called. It's going to be called a lien. And on the county record, it'll say that you have. It'll say what's the name of the complex that you bought? Where did you buy your Wildwood Gardens?
Einloth Gardens.
Einloth Gardens HOAs filed all these liens.
Dick.
Each month they've been filing $1,000 lien against your property, and
because they're fining me.
Yeah, it's basically a fine that now when you go to sell your house or for you to refinance.
What if I just pay the fine?
I guess I don't know. That's what it's vigilante justice. So your neighbors are going to maybe like kill you or something, I guess. But
no, is that in the HOA paperwork?
It's I think that's one of the bylaws. Yeah, one of the bylaws is very far down in the contract.
I didn't tell you about my reunion. It was fun. It was weird. The dinner was fun. People showed up. It was good. We got yelled at, or I didn't. The other half of the table, they were being loud and they were swearing, and then people came in.
Oh, so it's exactly what you didn't want to happen.
Yeah, and then, but it wasn't like that inappropriate. They were just saying like F-bombs, and then one of the wives was like, "We're not being loud. Nobody left. You need to leave this." She like yelled at the waiter, and the guy slipped away. Yeah, it was great.
So that's awesome, because that's exactly what you were like kind of worried about happening.
So we paid, and then we went.
People don't know how to be adults in public.
We went to the reunion. Yeah, she was from New Jersey. I think that explained it.
Oh, she wasn't even one of your friends?
No,
I mean like one of your
wives of the friends.
Not even one of the people involved in the reunion. Okay.
No.
Wow.
The reunion was weird. So 30 years, right? That's a long time. Like I'm old.
You are.
I think I look somewhat similar to what I did in high school, but they didn't have any name tags.
I kind of like that.
But it was really hard.
Yeah, I think that's more fun though. Did you?
A lot of people came up and was like, we would talk. I knew about a third of the people there from sight. Everybody was like, I only know about a third of the people. Everybody just kept saying it. We'd talk to somebody and they'd leave, and my buddy Tim would be like, who the fuck were you just talking to?
So you didn't even ask? You said you wouldn't say like,
well, they'd come up to you and they'd be like, Jarrod, how are you? It was weird you can't after that say like, who are you?
Oh, I would totally do that. Yeah.
Really? If they went
Absolutely. I'm sorry, I don't recognize you. What's
You're
Plus,
better. You're smarter than me.
No, I just like awkward. I like awkwardness. I think it's fun.
Yeah, it's a good thing that you like. But it was fun. We stayed a little while and then went home.
I'm glad that exactly what you didn't want to happen happened.
Yeah, and the guy I was worried about didn't even show up.
Let's see.
It was overall
anybody
fun.
Anybody get not of your group, or maybe your group, but did anybody? I love like stories where someone gets too drunk or two people hooked up and they got caught.
I don't know about hooked up. I think there was like we left at like 10.
Anybody doing drugs? Did you see people using drugs?
There was no drugs that I saw.
Okay.
We left at like 10, and there were some pictures people sent at like midnight that people looked pretty drunk. I didn't. We had like an hour ride back, so
What kind of place was it at? Just was it?
it was like a golf club. No, a golf club.
Okay.
They had food, but we ate dinner, so we didn't. I mean, we paid $40 a person. I probably had like one hors d'oeuvre, so that's what I paid.
Yeah. Did they play music from the 90s?
No, it was no music.
Oh.
They had a few things out that were like mementos, like a yearbook, and
They didn't have a DJ?
no, I don't really know what. I don't know what the
High
money
school.
went for,
You
really.
guys dropped the ball.
Well, really, you could have just, these days you could have a speaker and an iPod and just play
Yeah.
like 80s or 90s.
It would have taken
hits.
one person to one of the
Yeah.
planning committee to bring a speaker.
Well, I harped on the name tags for a little while, so I think I was already in the house.
I think that I kind of like that you didn't know half the people. All right, so girls that you had crushes on, did they all look worse than how you remember them, or did any hold?
Everybody looked wicked fucking old and more heavy than they did.
That's normal, I guess. That's fun.
I like
What'd you
later, I'm
drink?
like, I was like, do I look like this?
So did you get drunk at all, or just like 3?
No, I had 2 beers. I tried to drive home. I had 2 beers and a Coke.
Yeah.
But the other people, like when I left, one of the guys was like, "We're doing shots." And he handed me a shot, and I was like, "I gotta go." That was like the 3rd shot they had done. So I think that group got pretty.
I had a Christmas get together like that 15 years ago or something.
In Connecticut.
Yeah.
I remember. I think that was when I was at Gunner. I think I remember that. You called me to come,
Yeah.
but it was like that night.
Yeah. I
Like,
think
I'm
that's-
in Connecticut. You should come to Cheshire. And I was like,
That's how
it's like 8:00 on a Saturday. Like, what do you?
That's how I roll.
Yeah. But you could then say you invited me, but
Cover my bases, get on with my life, have fun,
yeah,
not worry about it.
I didn't come. I want to say that I think it was like almost exactly 15 years ago. It was like 08 or 09.
That sounds right to me. Oh, yeah, because I had me and my ex split up in 07, so it was either 08 or 09 because something.
So you threw a
something
party?
Something happened on that trip that I couldn't have done if I had a
Oh,
wife.
baby.
A wife in
You
a
ate
car.
it?
In a car.
You ate
In a car.
deer
In a
carcass?
car. In a car in a parking lot. Now that I think about it.
What?
Yeah.
Like
Not a
some
mall-
girl
not a
you
mall- Not a
knew?
mall parking lot. Yeah, a girl that I had a crush on in like 7th grade or something.
Oh, wow.
It was just it was when first I got on Facebook. It was
How did you not stay on Facebook after that for all?
oh my god, it's so awful.
But it did all that good for you.
That the fun part happened within the first 3 months of it. As soon as you get on, you see all these people and stuff, and it happened to be around Christmas time, and I was going home, so a bunch of people decided to get together, and we got like 20 people from our.
That's fun.
Yeah, it was a fun night.
Produced by,
Are we going into the end?
I don't know. Were we ready? Do I do my thing I'd always do?
Should I wrap it up?
Should we wrap it up?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't even know who to produce it by. Do we have any people today?
Arstitol? What was it?
Produced by Bill Aristotle?
How did she mispronounce Aristotle?
I don't know. And she got mad.
I like that she was mad.
Theme song by Maggie Ellox. Thank you for Emma for being on again with your fabulous furry friend bird stories. Email or write us a letter. You can read about it in the description if you really want to do that. Don't look at social media. We hate social media. Put your phone down
Don't
this
murder your
week.
wife.
and don't murder your wife again. We have a
Or
streak,
next week. Or
couple week streak. Nobody's murdered their wife that listens to the show.
hope that never happens. Because we'll be suspect somehow.
Yeah, it's probably true. I started, I had my first phone call with the therapist woman this week.
But you weren't going to be able to do it till November or something.
Yeah, now it's on.
Okay.
So they send you all this. I'm going to meet with her in a couple of weeks. But they send you all this paperwork stuff. And one of them is this release form. And it says, if I see you in public, I will not acknowledge you. If you say hello to me, I will say hello back. But that is it. And then that is like, we will move on because this is a professional relationship. So
Can I have that? I want to make 500 copies of that disclaimer for myself. If I see you in public, I will nod at you. I'll say hi.
So you could have like a contract for your, like, because this is a professional, so anyone who comes in your store.
Or just anybody at all.
You're like,
I want it to be anybody at all.
Anybody?
Yeah, it would be great. No, I can't talk about your washing machine. I signed the thing.
Remember, I sold you stamps at the store. We can't.
Yeah, you signed that non-disclosure form.
This is a professional agreement. You say hello, I'll say hello back.
I hope you see her in public all the time.
Imagine after that, I'm just like seeing her everywhere. We sit next to each other at like fireworks and
just nodding at each other.
There's nothing we can say. It's like
What if you got trapped in
an elevator? Yeah. Just like, I'm not allowed to speak to you.
I think one of us should probably try to fix the elevator or call the police or something.
Please stop speaking to me. We're only allowed to say hello.
You can only nod at me.
So we'll see. It's all business. It seems like we'll see how it goes. We won't do that on this show, right? We would acknowledge you. I mean, I know you don't want to acknowledge anybody, but if anyone from the show saw us, we would love to talk to them.
I'd nod at them, sure.
Because
nod at the mag room, and we'll say hi back.
And everything else is cream cheese.
Ooh, ooh, I like my groom. I like my groom. Ooh, ooh, my groom is good. My groom is good. Ooh, ooh, I like my groom. I like my groom. Ooh, ooh, my groom is good. My groom is good. The my groom's good. Ooh, ooh, I like my groom. I like my groom. Ooh, ooh, my groom is good. My groom is good.
Hey, this is Emma, everybody.